The sponsor of this video is actually me. I made a watch brand called Matthias Time. I'm wearing one right now, and the brown leather version is on Amazon, link below. There will be a black leather version coming out soon, so if you're into watches, you should definitely pick one up and let me know what you think. They do cost $50, but if you use the code MSTech11, you can get $10 off, so it's only $40, and there is a limited quantity, but if people do like it, I will definitely be restocking. This is the LG G Flex 2, and this is the first time I've used a curved phone, and so far it's been pretty interesting. Honestly, I think the curve is ergonomic, and I'm not going to say it's significantly better than a flat phone, but I do think it is slightly more comfortable to use in most situations. This is the Volcano Red version, obviously, and if you want to see the black and gray version, I'm going to leave a link in the description to Bo HD's impressions video where he has the black and gray version. And it is an international version because it's not available on most US carriers yet, so it came loaded with bloatware, and after a lot of uninstalling and hiding apps, this is what my phone looks like. Even though it's running Android Lollipop, you really don't see that much of it. For example, with the app drawer, you don't see any material design when you open it up or swipe through it. However, you do catch a little bit of material design going down with the notification drawer. You get a little bit of that material design just like coming from the top of the screen. Now, I wouldn't say LG's skin is too intrusive, but it is noticeable coming from stock Android. It's pretty noticeable in apps like Settings and Messages. I'll open up Settings here. You can see that this is not anything like stock Android Lollipop settings. You have these tabs up here, and it looks kind of weird, and it took me a little bit to get used to it and find things. But I feel like once I do get used to it, it's going to be fine, and it's just a matter of getting used to this skin, and then it's not going to be intrusive in my experience with this device. So on Twitter, I asked you guys if you had any questions about the LG G Flex 2, and I want to take the rest of the time of this video to answer those questions, because I think it's the best way to get the information out there that people want to see. The first question comes from Joshua Choppy, and he asks what my favorite part of the phone is. And honestly, I have to say, watching videos with the curved display. Watching videos was the first time I really noticed the huge benefit of having a curved display, and it's the same reason there are curved monitors and curved TVs. A curved display while you're watching a video or watching TV just makes it a little more immersive and a better experience. Sarthak Kakar asks, does it bend? LOL JK. And even though you said JK, I'm still going to answer it because some people may not know that the LG G Flex 2 is capable of bending. So I'm going to bend it flat real quick. So it's about flat right there. And then just bends back. And honestly, it feels weird doing that, but the phone is completely capable of doing that and bending back to its original shape, so it's really no problem. TechSmash asks, how does the Snapdragon 810 perform from your experience? Now, I was expecting more from it, but I think it's because of a lot of the bloatware that's associated with this device being the international version, that it's not blowing me away or anything. It's just kind of performing like I would expect a well-spec'd Android phone to perform. Jonathan Thompson asks, how does it compare to the LG G3, specifically in feel and software experience? So I never had the LG G3, so I can't really answer this, but in feel, I already mentioned it, it feels very comfortable and ergonomic to use with the curved display. And in software experience, as I mentioned earlier, after getting rid of all the bloatware, it's really not that bad. Jacob Overton asks, how does the curved screen affect your use? Honestly, the curved screen doesn't affect your use that much. It's not that much different from a flat device, but every once in a while when you're watching videos or talking on the phone, you'll notice the benefit of having a curved screen. Connor Cleveland asks, is it worth the upgrade from the original G Flex? So I never had the original G Flex, but I do know that the G Flex 2 has a higher resolution screen and much faster specs, which are two really important things for a device. So honestly, I would say yes, it probably is worth the upgrade. Ahmed Tsurev asks, is the curve worth the money? Honestly, that depends how much money you have available and whether or not you're getting it on contract and all that stuff. But as I've mentioned throughout the video, I do really enjoy the curve so far. Sam asks, does the curve of the Flex improve use or just a gimmick to set it apart from the pack? Look forward to the video. Thank you for looking forward to the video, and I really don't think it's just a gimmick to set it apart from the pack. And yes, it does set it apart from the pack and it's slightly gimmicky, but I think the curve actually does improve a lot of use scenarios, as I've said, watching videos, talking on the phone, sometimes just scrolling through Reddit or like Twitter or something, you'll just be holding the phone and be like, the curve just feels right. I don't know. It is gimmicky, but I don't think it's just a gimmick. I think it does have some ergonomic use. Pedro de Macedo asks, thermal throttling. So I haven't had any problem with thermal throttling, but I have noticed the back of the device get hot when I was uninstalling all the apps or running a heavy game or something. Dimitri Bautista asks, does the curve really make a difference when watching videos? So I've mentioned it a few times, I think watching videos is one of the few scenarios that the curve makes a big noticeable difference. I think the only thing it's missing is having front-facing speakers to complete that experience. Emal Gamaj asks, which glass is protecting the G Flex 2's screen? The G Flex 2 screen is protected by Gorilla Glass 3. And lastly, this wasn't in response to me asking about questions, but Sam West asks, what phone are you using? And I'm using the G Flex 2, and I will be continuing using it until I make the review of it and until I can get my hands on the Galaxy S6 Edge or the HTC One M9. So that's it for this video. Those are my impressions of using the LG G Flex 2. For the first time, I'm using a curved phone, and so far, it's actually been a pretty good experience. If you enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more content. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay classy.